Hello there and welcome. I'm Sonia Davies, spiritual strategist, and I've got a channeled message for you this morning, and this is a big one. Okay, this is a really big message that's come through today. Some of them are a bit more gentle, but this one really doesn't pull any punches. So I'm going to share this with you, and then we'll talk about it a bit afterwards. So if you're new here, you're very welcome. And I channel write every single morning. I have done for quite a long time. And recently I've been guided to start sharing these messages in a spoken form. And I write them in the morning in my notebook. It's channeled writing that I do. But my voice is an activator. So when I speak them, you receive the frequency of the original message in a way that activates things within your energy fields, within your multidimensional fields, that mean the messages will land with you in a way that mere words alone won't allow. I'm trying to find the words to describe this because this is multidimensional stuff. So when I speak the words, what I'm doing, yes, you might be hearing them in your ears, but actually you're feeling them in your frequency. That's the point. And my voice speaking these words activates something in you to enable you to, at a soul level, at a multidimensional level, to comprehend and absorb these messages that are coming through. So that's a brief description of how this works. I always recommend, if you can, if you're comfortable, when I speak the channeled message, and I'll read it out in just a moment, if you can, have your eyes closed. You can watch me if you want to. It's not because I don't want you to see me. I'm quite happy here for you to watch me. But there's something that happens when you close your eyes. You're removing other stimuli from your brain, which means you're more likely to feel the frequency and be activated by the words as I speak them through my voice than you would otherwise if you just watched me and heard the words themselves. So if you're comfortable to do so, I really invite you now, just take a moment, sit back wherever you are, take a breath. The energy that flows through you is divine and eternal. You do not create energy, you are energy. The myth of creation is not correct in the analogies it uses on your world at this time. Yes, you are a divine creator. You are divine source in an incarnation this moment, but you are not a creator of energy or wishes. These creations already exist. The dreams you cling to, the rewards and goals you seek and call it manifestation, this is not you creating. This is you connecting with the creations that already exist in the ether and potentiality of all that is, and then choosing the timeline version of you where this is your reality. There is much being said about you being a master creator in this time. You are not. Everything already exists. Your lesson is not in creation, but in choice, in observation of self, so that your actions and thoughts align with the version of reality you wish. We understand this is a challenging concept, but we will share more on this in due course. Step back, observe. Which reality do you choose? Then commit to that wholeheartedly and it will be yours. Do not fear the confusion you feel. This is growth and learning as you remember more and more of your true essence. Be calm with these insights. Trust your soul. Trust and choose. Well, that was quite a message this morning, and there's a lot in that, and I'm going to try and go through it and unpack it a little bit. One thing I will say before I do that, and if you feel comfortable with what you've got, that's fine. But sometimes understanding and talking these things through also helps it land and integrate more fully into you as a multidimensional being. Um, so yeah, one of the, I mean, I don't know about you. you're watching me here on YouTube, whenever it is you're watching this is perfect for you. That's divinely timed. I believe that. Um, but I follow a lot of amazing people here on YouTube who are really inspiring. I do watch other channelers, less so now than I used to. But I listen to all kinds of amazing people. And I've heard a lot of talk, particularly in the online spiritual space, about you're a master creator, you're here to create your own destiny, you are divine, and all of that stuff. And this message is saying, no, that's not actually true. Now, I don't think one of the things that happens for me, I should explain when I'm channeling, is the words that come out aren't the whole of what I get. I receive meaning and insight into these that go beyond the words that they share with me. So I'll try and explain some of that. The point about being a master creator, what they're saying is, what I got the sense of is that we are the narrative that's being used as we are master creators isn't a lie. It's not people trying to con us. But as humans, we've made a meaning of that. And it's the meaning we've made of it that's not accurate. It's not the people who are bringing these messages through, who are channeling them. It's the interpretation of those that's incorrect. And that carries its own form because, again, it's all energy. So throughout all of this message, what they're saying is the narrative around we're a master creator, we can create our own destiny, we need to learn to lean into being creators. What this message is saying is that's not actually true. It's that every potential reality already exists in energetic form in the universe. It's there for us to choose. So the whole concept of things like manifestation and unlocking your dreams, your desires, your intentions, your wishes, whatever you want to label them, it's all just words really. But the things that you want, if you want them, what they're really saying is you need to choose them. They already exist. There is a version, a timeline where that thing has already happened. The fact that you are able to conceive it, to dream it, to think of it, means it already exists. If it didn't exist, you wouldn't be able to think of it. You wouldn't be able to dream about it. You know, I've for a long time, I've got a vision in my head of my dream home. And at some point in the future, I know I will live there. I don't know where it is, but I know parts of it. I know the feeling of it. I can picture bits of it and I know the sense of it. I know that at some point that will happen for me. I don't know the details. I don't need to know the details. But that wouldn't exist for me as a dream, as a vision, as a concept if it didn't already exist somewhere on a timeline. Now, for me, what that means is I now need to go and choose that timeline. I need to go and make the choices that allow me to access that timeline where that is my reality, where I'm sitting in that house, sitting in my home office, looking out on my garden and all, you know, the vision that I've had. The specifics of that don't matter. The point is that in order for me to be able to dream this, in order for you to be able to dream the things that you dream of, they already exist. Otherwise, you're tapping into a future timeline. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to access it. So what this message is saying is move away from what I get the sense of, move away from the narrative that says you're a creator, because we're not creating. Everything that is and everything that could ever be already exists in some form, energetically. And the bit about being the creator is not about actually creating. It's about choosing and making the choices and committing to the choices and the timeline that allow you to get hold of that version of reality. That's the point. This is not about, if you allow for the fact that every timeline exists already, every potential timeline exists already. This is not about creating that. This is about choosing the timeline and making the choices. There was something about, here we go. Yeah, step back, observe which reality do you choose, then commit to that wholeheartedly and it will be yours. So this for me is about saying, what do you really want? But then take a step back. I'm really getting a sense of observing yourself, observing your actions, observing your choices. So for example, if you want to, let's say, for example, you want to go and run a marathon, right? And for me, absolutely not. Not never. No, that's never happening. But you decide you want to go and run a marathon. You can make that decision. I want to go and run a marathon. You could even take the action that signs up for the marathon, pays the entry fee and does all that. But if you don't get up off your chair and go and start practicing, you're never going to run it. It's a concept, but you're not committing to it wholeheartedly. This is saying when you commit to what it is that you want to happen, even if the path to getting there isn't linear, it's not a lovely straight line, and it's not a, right, I am going to run a marathon. It's okay, I'm going to run a marathon, right? I've got to sign up for it. I've got to pay the entry fee. I've got to make sure I've got decent shoes so that I can run in, that are comfortable, that fit me properly. I'm going to have to train. I'm going to have to start building up my muscle memory. I'm going to have to be able to do, and you see where I'm going with this. The point is there's an awful lot of action along the way. And if 3 months into your training you then get an injury, it knocks you off track. It's not about going, oh well, I'm not going to run a marathon then. It's about going, no, okay, what do I need to do to make that still happen? Maybe I don't have time to run the marathon this year, but maybe I can delay it and do it next year. The point is, if you want it, you commit to it. That timeline already exists where you run that marathon and complete it, if that's what you want. So this is saying it's not about creating a reality where you run a marathon and you see yourself at the finish line with the medal and all the things and going, and that's amazing. And if you ever do that, congratulations, well done. Oh, not my bag, but you carry on. But you have to do the things and take the action and make the choices. So you have to take a step back and observe yourself to see whether you are doing the things that will then say to the universe, yes, I've chosen this timeline and all the facets and obstacles that it will throw me. The universe will test your commitment to the dream. So it might, in your marathon training, it might throw you an injury 3 months in. And then you have to choose. Again, it's about choosing. Do I sit back and go, oh well, never mind, can't do it? That's proving that you weren't actually that committed to that timeline in the first place, and it will never happen for you. But when you observe yourself and you see your self-sabotage patterns, and they may not be big things, they could be tiny little tweaks. You go, actually, the version of me that does that, that wins that marathon, that lives in that house that I've got the view of, the version of me does this and makes these choices along the way and commit to that, even though it's hard along the way, even when it's difficult, even when the obstacles come in. So I love this message. It's a really big one. I'm not underestimating how powerful this one is, particularly the bit about it's wrong when you think of yourself as a master creator, because you're not, because everything already exists. We're talking in a multidimensional way here, and we really are, every single possibility already exists somewhere on a timeline. It's about us choosing it and committing to that choice. So I'm going to take some time today to step back, to observe myself and see what actions I need to take to commit to make my dream home my reality at some point. I don't know when. Who knows? It won't be this year. I know that. It's a few years away. But yeah, I want to invite you to take that moment, take that pause, take that time today. Go out for a walk, sit in meditation, whatever it is, just take 5 minutes away from input and noise and distraction and just go, I'm going to observe myself. Do I really want this? And am I willing to put the effort in all the way through that will take me there? And then go and do it. Just start. Commit to that timeline. It's a really powerful message. It's a really positive message, but it packs a punch today. So I would love to know in the comments how this lands for you, what shows up for you, what's your dream. If you want to share that, please do. And if it is running a marathon, then yeah, please definitely do that, because good luck with that. Again, I celebrate you if you are, but oof, not my bag. um I'm going to leave that there for today. If you want to reach out, please just drop a comment below. I love reading your comments. I do try and always reply. I don't always manage it on the same day, but anyway, life is busy and I try and maintain my balance as well. So I am sending you love and light and energy to help you connect with your dream timeline. And I'll be back here soon. Take care.